Flex.
We are live with our first of two state hangouts. State brackets came out this week. Pretty excited about state. Lots of great matches. Lots of great. It's gonna be a great team race. We got Mike Reiser here and the mouth of the South and Nick Wiesjohn.
Me and my boy Little Snoop here on my shoulder.
Jeez, your boy Snoop. Okay, why don't you get a girl there?
Okay, first off, cold, Joe. It's only been 2 weeks.
Soon, man. Come on, bro.
Jeez, man, it's Valentine's Day. You really?
No, Valentine's Day tomorrow. We're giving everyone the day off so we don't prevent it, or so we don't cause any divorces. I don't want to get that hate mail. I already get enough hate mail.
Just in case anyone wonders, I recently became single again. So if you're interested in all of this beautiful background of mess and terrible and Snoop Dogg, hit me up.
We're Friday night. We're gonna have speed dating for Nick and Caleb. So if anyone knows any lovely young single ladies that like wrestling nerds, send them our way.
I'm gonna host.
I will out nerd Caleb in a heartbeat.
So I mean, hey, we got single guys. We'll morph Indiana Matt into a little bit of a dating website. I mean, we can do a lot of fun things there. So we're gonna go over half the weights tonight. We're gonna stay away from the Brownsburg kids, so Nick doesn't have to brag about how great all his kids are, or complain about draws for his kids or whatever he wants to do. So
can we talk about 145 and how bad Peyton Asbury is?
No,
I'm just kidding. I like Peyton Asbury.
No.
We just always can poop.
No. So
he's so bad.
With that, I mean, Mike, what was your thoughts on the bracket show? Even though it was a little bit of our idea.
Yeah, I was sad when we did it. I think people thought that I was really saying great idea, but we kind of tweeted that out beginning of January. But no, it was done well. I mean, obviously, Coach Gable is a legend. You know, always gives love to Indiana Matt, which, you know, a legend, and he likes what we do. So I liked it. I watched the whole thing. I thought it was done really well. If it was us, it probably would have been a 4-hour show. If you guys, how do you guys cut us off?
We'd eventually got to the brackets.
Yeah.
Yeah. After we talk about all the craziness that happened at semi-state, all the it was great weekend wrestling. There's some upsets, not crazy amount. I mean, I saw a lot crazy take around matches. You know, that's one of the most stressful rounds. I mean, that your season comes down to one match. And I mean, kids, it's hard to tell a kid to open up when, one mistake and you could be on your back and counting lights and your season's over. So it's a stressful, it's a hard one to coach. I know we had a couple pretty good matches that, were stressful. Took a few more of the what's left up there off.
You just gonna let it run or what? Save it down.
I don't know. Growing it out right now. So
your wife likes the bangs, huh?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, she's a bangs lady.
So
I'm just glad we don't have wrestlebacks, because that's the most exciting time in wrestling is that ticket round. There definitely wouldn't be a ticket round or a blood round if we had wrestlebacks. That would not exist. That's definitely a thing that would not exist. So we should never have wrestlebacks because of that.
Oh, yes. That's a fun topic. And as exciting as the ticket round is, I'd rather have a little bit of wrestlebacks.
That was aimed at Kyle Ayersman, 3-time state champ. He's also terrible as a human.
Yeah, it's because he never even had a close match in the ticket round. It doesn't bother him.
Yeah,
he wants to redo like one final, I'm sure.
Yeah,
like that's it.
Either way, let's not get caught up on that, because I could take us off track for hours.
Okay, so we're gonna start at 113. Before that, if you haven't checked out our state finals by the numbers, pretty cool little article I always like to do. Tells you how many ranked guys we had. Mike does the rankings. I can't take any credit other than posting them half the time.
Sometimes I ask sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, hey, is this kid good?
Hey, we did slip Levi Leffers in.
Yeah.
We snagged you up another one, so we snuck him in late.
I blame that for Sprunger, though. I give that prop to Sprunger.
Okay.
Like, this guy's pretty good. I don't know why you left him out. And I was like, Joe, is he good? You're like, yeah, he's good. I said, all right, let's put him in.
Yeah, 179 ranked guys, which is basically 80%. That's pretty impressive considering, especially, I mean, we go over this over and over, but people tend to forget that we locked the rankings at before sectional. So,
Yeah.
so that's it. I don't know if, I mean, I don't know why we ever started doing it. I know it started back with Eric doing the rankings. I don't know, kind of a game, I guess we kind of played, see how well they are. And, you know, obviously we can make the rankings as good as we want. You know, we do them week of semi-state. Yeah, we can predict all 16 guys. That's pretty easy. But
Yeah.
doing that 4 weeks earlier when injuries, kids missing weight or, you know, skin stuff, or, you know, guys drop out for various reasons, upsets, you know, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think and I get a lot of emails during this time of year that's like, I don't understand why my kid's still ranked here. I was like, yeah, we locked them 3 weeks ago. Well, we can't change them. Like, they're going to do a tournament in like 2 more weeks. You guys would be great.
Yeah.
You know, it's obviously those are not my picks. Like, I'm not going to be like one. I will do a pick'ems with the rankings and just put the rankings, whoever gets the highest, and kind of put it out like that just to see. I always like to see how it plays. It always does pretty well. But, I mean, judging by my top 5 finish overall in all the semi-states, I might know something.
It's kind of a, you know, I mean, you might get fired if you don't get like a top 5 finish, right?
Man, I'm a little disappointed. Sprunger brought it this year. Caleb's letting the pressure get to him. He's not as clutch as he thought he was.
Oh, I was looking through his he just bombed Fort Wayne. I was looking at every toss-up match possible he got wrong. Like anything that you could think of that was a toss-up, he missed. Oh, I was like, I was like, okay, I had to double check because he was pretty low. And so
sometimes you get too much information, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're picking too much with your heart.
Sometimes you swing and you hit a home run. Sometimes you swing and you miss.
Yep.
Hey, good. Hey, dynamite drop in, Nick.
Right there. It's like me with my ladies.
Oh, goodness. So, I missed that on that thing. I got to fix that. Okay. On my article, I'm looking at the article. 113, 15 ranked guys. The only one he didn't rank.
I know. Hey, but you know I got love for Joe Just.
I'm gonna have Joe Just come and kick your butt.
I know, man, but you know I got a lot of love for Joe Just. I like Joe Just style. He was ranked early on too. He was one of the guys ranked in the magazine. I went back, and you know he had some bumps in the road, but he's a guy that's dangerous. He could wrestle with anybody. He just doesn't. We say Donnie Kreider things, and that's caught on pretty well. You hear that a lot now. Joe Just can do some things like that too, where you just like kind of scratch your head and like, wow, he hit that. I'm sure as a coach, you completely agree with what I'm saying.
Oh no, oh yeah, we call it Joe Just, you know, go do your thing, Joe. It's like, you know, he's a great kid. I love coaching him, and definitely will miss him because he's an animal on the mat. And like you said, he had a rough about week and a half where just things just weren't clicking for him, you know, in early December, which, you know, you don't win state, you don't qualify for state in early December, but came back, you know, avenged a couple losses and punched another ticket to state. So that's pretty impressive for him. And I'm, you know, obviously I'm pretty proud of him being a kid that, you know, I've seen him grow, not very much because he started at 106.
In my Fort Wayne I did have Joe Just qualifying.
Oh, okay. So that makes it better. So
I think I had him 4th still though. So hey.
Yeah.
You know, I got love for the Superchargers.
Yeah. So 113, pretty loaded bracket. Braden Curtis, Jose Diaz, top quarter, 1 and 2. Obviously, these are all but one match is a ranked matchup. Then you go down, you got Braden Lowry and Blake Borman. Possible Saturday morning. Borman has to go through Tolan, and I know Borman suffered an injury. Everyone said on the board, and Nick even said just a few minutes ago before we went live, it sounded pretty bad, looked pretty bad. I believe he's wrestling from what I've heard, but obviously we'll find out Friday morning or Friday evening if he's wrestling or, you know, how bad that injury is.
Well, if he's not wrestling, hopefully you find out before Friday evening so they can get the alternate in.
Yeah. I'm sure that alternate is, I think it's a Columbus East guy.
It would, so we jump up to 9 qualifiers. Which
they need probably 6 or 7 more state qualifiers.
Yeah, which would probably be like, I'm sure it's already a school record, but just to add to it.
Yeah.
I seen Coach Cooper was the coach of the year.
Yep, very well.
He's been doing big things over there.
Yep.
I saw Mike Poppy was assistant coach of the year, so we all know it's rigged.
Same with 2 good assistants. I was shocked. My guy Bobby Joe didn't get it too. I'm gonna have to talk to him about it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, give him a hard time. Poppy's coach of the year. I mean, he hate the other coaches, but it's probably from his dancing skills.
Yeah, that's it. Or screaming headlock from the corner.
It's magic when it works, though.
Yes,
it is. That is true.
Sorry,
we're getting off.
Yeah,
I'm looking for. I'm hoping Borman wrestles. And this is no offense to Tolan or Just. Hope they can go in there and wrestle too. But if I can see a Braden Lowry Borman match with Borman able to actually wrestle, I'm excited to see that Saturday morning. I think that's going to be a great match.
Yeah, Blake Borman getting injured. That was in the finals, right?
Yep.
I was disappointed because we had the opportunity to have 4 undefeated semifinalists. If the rankings held up how you think they would, all the champs would have been undefeated, which is always exciting. It's always happened a couple times.
Yep. Going down the bracket, Andreas Moreno versus Alec Petro, first round rematch of the Al Smith. That's a good match too.
Yeah.
So that's a when you'd always look at the 4/1s possible. That's one that you'd kind of watch and you'd think, oh, kid's undefeated, but they wrestled just a couple months ago, and it was a pretty good match. The next one, speaking of Mike Poppy, he'll be sitting in the corner. Braden Shear versus Garrett versus AJ Black. That's just an ugly quarter bracket.
Yeah.
I mean, you put those guys, all 4 of those guys in other quarters, I could see that being a semifinal almost. I mean, all 4 of those guys are that talented to be in the semifinals. So that's what it is. We're in the top 16 guys left. There's going to be ugly matches. The last quarter is kind of just a hodgepodge, and it's one of those pick 'em kind of quarter brackets. Devin Castle, Ricky Hegedus from Portage. That should be a good 4 versus 1. Then Cade Zadalik and Carson Eldred, both pretty good guys. Seen them both firsthand. It should be a good match there. Both have pretty similar styles. So, Mike, what's your anything you're looking for in this bracket?
Yeah, I think you kind of touched on it a bit. I haven't seen Devin Casebolt this year, only on the video from IHSWCA. But Ricky's tough, man. Ricky wrestled Kyson Montgomery tough at the same tournament. I think when you can be on top and you're good on top, I think it kind of changes the dynamic of it. And he's long. You're not going to get a lot of 13-pounders that are as tall as him. So that could be a possible, Friday night one to watch. Then the other ones, I mean, the quarter brackets with Black and possibly Moreno, but, obviously it's a toss-up. Moreno's been on fire. That dude's been just, a buzzsaw lately. Beat Triana and Peel. Won the Al Smith. Then gave Jose Diaz his only 3 losses. So definitely a good weight. I mean, Curtis and Lowry. I mean, Curtis, what does he have in his career? 3 losses. And I think people are kind of overlooking him, which is weird.
Yeah, he pinned his way through semi-state, and he looked good. Great kid. Had him on the Gorilla team a couple years ago. He's one that, I mean, just solid in all positions. And I mean, his match with Black was pretty good last year. He got taken down early, didn't panic, just went after it, stayed in good position, got his attacks and won a title. Hasn't lost since his freshman year. So, or did he lose last year?
No, he did not.
Yeah. So he's not afraid to bump up. I'd say at least 10, 15 of those matches are at 120.
And we kind of touched on it a little bit too. You're excited to see Borman because he's so talented. Like, you see his results, you see him not only like in season results, because I don't think he's wrestled as many of the top guys, some of the other guys, but his summer results are crazy. As an 8th grader, he's beating Brock Peel, he's beating those guys. He beat Hunter Watts. So you hope he's healthy. I heard it was a bruised kneecap. Who knows? But that should be a good one, him and Lowry. I mean, Lowry's obviously, really good. He's been there. I think Lowry's a guy, I know like last year they said was underrated. He went to the state semifinals, but I don't think that he's being slept on. What is he, 3? And Diaz was returning medalist. He hadn't lost until the sectional. So,
yeah. Nick, any comments on this weight?
I mean, Mike pretty much hit the nail on the head. The only thing I have to add to it is that if you, it'll actually on Friday night, it'll be a rematch of the ISWA folk style state finals where Hagedis and Case Bolt both wrestle. I think Case Bolt won that with a major, but I don't know what the context of that is. I don't know if it was close and then someone tried something or what, but they have wrestled before as recently as last summer. So
nice. Mike, you want to give picks, or we're just gonna go over it?
I can give real quick picks.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to give out your picks.
Yeah, I'll do them. I haven't written them down yet, so I mean, obviously, I think Curtis is good. Taking out Cathedral guy, I mean, for the team race, that's going to be huge. But Oliver can wrestle with anybody, and I think he showed that this weekend, knocking out Javon Ross, who was had beat him, had pinned him early on. I got Curtis, Diaz, Lowry. If Borman goes, I'm going to go with Borman. I think if Borman doesn't go, it kind of changes the bracket. I mean, I would almost take Tyler Conley in that weight. Danny told me I think that could be a good one. Moreno. Sorry to go against Garrett Railroaders, Joe, but AJ Black, returning state runner-up. Case Bolt, and I haven't seen Zelatic, but I know Carson Eldridge had a nice season. So did you want me to go all the way through or just the Friday night winner?
I mean, it's up to you. That's fine. We'll just highlight the big matches and kind of give a little bit of an overview on the weights. I mean, your picks.
I'll definitely hear. Like, that'd be like one of those things I just kind of went over it real quick, and then I'll get someone like, that's what you didn't even pick my kid. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're a bad person, Mike.
I know. Like, you say it, and then like people like take it as a gospel. Like, I just was glancing down at it. Anyone that's ranked higher, I'm taking the ranked higher wrestler. And if you're not ranked and you're wrestling a ranked wrestler, I'm taking the ranked wrestler. There
are 2 matches this year with the battle of unranked guys, so you're gonna have at least 2 unranked medalists, Mike.
Yeah, and I think that's it. I mean, there's gonna be a bunch of them, I'm sure. I think that's what I kind of pride myself on more. I think we're really high on that. A lot of the guys that are ranked, I know everyone thinks they can do it, but I think that's a pretty good skill to have. We do pretty well at that.
I'll have to pull up my spreadsheet. I do. I'll tease this. I'm hoping I can get it done tonight or tomorrow sometime. I have a state version of who are your losses to. And there's 1,040 losses. I have 150 more to find, plus some other ones I couldn't find. So if anyone has any help when I post it, there's about 30 that right now I can't find via track or via our database. But so I'm gonna go through this and just random losses.
This is what our text consists of. Joe sent me one today. I said, yeah, it's this guy. Any more? You need another one?
So I just sent him the whole spreadsheet. He hasn't filled it.
But I didn't know which ones you had, so it was tough.
Yeah. No, that's so I'll be perusing this as we go through here. 145, going to be another great weight. Another one, 15 out of 16 state qualifiers. Especially 45 is just a crazy weight this year. A lot of guys in and out of the rankings. And then it's just one of those weird just weight classes where you really, I mean, you have McIntosh, you have Hunt, and then it's just an all, it's just a crapshoot. Gotta give a shout out to Jordan Douglas, the first state qualifier from Attica. He's a great guy. He had a really good East Chicago semi-state. So
he looked really tough. He wears tights too.
Nice, going back old school modern day. What are you looking for here, Mike? What are the big matches?
I think initially when we were watching the bracket show, I watched it with Kim, and I remember thinking, like, my mind works in a lot of different ways, and when I'm watching it, it's kind of going a lot of different directions. I'm thinking, man, Portage got some really tough draws, and I'm not just saying that 'cause I'm a region guy, but that Saturday morning possible matchup, because anything could happen. I'm not gonna go against the Belmont Braves, with my guy Dane and modern day Scott Fitz, but I mean, if the rankings hold true, you could have a Casper McIntosh, Jordan Slivka, which I know obviously, the Brownsburg Bulldogs are going to be in there, but that could have a huge impact on the team race. I think that's kind of a conflicting style too, where I think that's the one that sticks out to me right away.
Definitely. That's one thing. I mean, that's what I was looking through for. Obviously, I was looking at my guys, but I'm also looking like, ooh, there's a Portage Cathedral Saturday morning. There's a Brownsburg Cathedral. There's a Brownsburg Portage. You've seen all those matches that because half the darn state finals is Portage Cathedral and Brownsburg. So
yeah.
Hello.
But yeah, that's one thing I was looking for, and I was like, that's one that that's a killer. I mean, that's big points there. Making the semis or going for fifth.
And you got a lot of good squads here. Jordan Douglas qualifying. You have a lot of the Warren Centrals, Antoine Graves, the preseason national champ. Columbus East is in here. Yorktown, Shenandoah had a nice run. Mishawaka's kind of on the rebound. Avon, Chesterton, Portage, Mater Dei, Belmont, who's had a lot of success in the past, and Cathedral. Like, you have some real heavy hitters in here, like team-wise. Shout out to my guy, AJ Bradley, getting one through at Muncie Central. Elias Young. That was a 4-over-1 also, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
We previewed that on the Fort Wayne show, and I think we kind of called that he had a win over him early on.
Mm-hmm. That was it was kind of close, and then he put him to his back and pinned him midway through the second period, I believe. It was, I think it was a style matchup difference in that match from what I saw. Also, you got to also look, when you're looking at teams, Columbus East might be kind of just sneak their way into a contention there. They have some horses. They have some real good horses.
Yeah, they do.
You could easily see, Schnagi got a pretty solid job. He's going to go through Graves, which is no easy task, but it's he got drawn into Hunt. He got drawn into McIntosh. I'll take Graves, as those guys, those are all tough guys, but that's probably the one that he probably wanted rather than Hunt or McIntosh.
Yeah, Jordan Douglas. So, I wouldn't sleep on him Friday night. He's not ranked, but he was really impressive at East Chicago. But the 4 semi-state champs, 45-1, 45-0, 27-0, and 33-1.
Nice. And the 33 and that one for for McIntosh is pretty shady.
Yeah, bogus. And Graves' only loss was the Slivka, which he just avenged.
Yeah. The summer quarter bracket, Summer, Ellis, Dakota Ball, John Kunkel. Kunkel kind of came out of the radar, under the radar. Central Iowa had a real good semi-state. He's pretty tough. He's been around forever. Just first 2 years, just suffered injuries at the wrong time of the year. And he's one that, very much under the radar. So is Ball. Southmont always has those guys come in under the radar and are pretty well coached. They always have one or two pretty solid, really solid guys. So that should be a good first round matchup there.
What do you got, Nick?
In this weight class, obviously, I'm very interested in the Portage Cathedral shakeup, how that's going to roll. Like you said, that's going to really affect team score stuff, and it's something we've been thinking about a lot. The one quarter bracket I'm really watching is the Hunt, LaPlace, Conley, and Lowry. I think Hunt's probably going to make it to the quarters there, but I'm really interested to see that LaPlace Conley match. LaPlace was in a similar place last year where he wasn't the favorite in any of those matches, and he ended up getting to the semis. So that kid can wrestle with anybody, and it wouldn't surprise me there. Nathan Conley's been looking pretty good after he dropped down to 45, so I know he can roll with these guys, but I think that's going to be a great Friday night match, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that Saturday morning goes.
Of those 8 losses for Conley, how many are Brayton? 3 or 4?
Dual meet, county, conference, 3.
And then I know he has one to Washington. Come on, Joe. Who was his losses to?
Yeah, you have the spreadsheet.
Okay, hold on.
He got 2 in Ohio at Brecksville. He got 3
equals filter.
I got them all. Hold on a second. You have to open my spreadsheet. Nathan where'd he go? We got Ray Rua. Okay, we got Brayton Lee, Donnell Washington, Nick South, Sandro Ramirez, that's in Ohio, Tristan Summer, Will Schmidt, I believe, is also from Ohio. There's his losses.
Those are good losses. He
was up at 60 for a little bit at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. We had Nick South, that's a semi-state champ. You had Brayton Lee, who's a semi-state champ. I don't know how those Ohio guys are doing. Tristan Summers, semi-state champ, and Donnell Washington, semi-state runner-up.
Yeah, Sandro Ramirez, I think he wrestled at IPO. I think he's pretty solid. That name sticks out to me for some odd reason. So, moving on. Any other comments on 45?
It's gonna be a good weight.
Wrestling.
Wrestling. Keep wrestling that wrestling.
162 pounds or 160 pounds, where I say 162. We had Mike kind of didn't do too well here. He only had 13 of the qualifiers ranked. Anthony Mosconi, I believe he spent some time in the rankings, or at least he was on the high up on the watch list.
Yeah, he jumped in the rankings for a little bit.
Two guys that might be on. I think they're on the watch list, maybe, but they probably weren't exactly high. Ben Kessinger from Mishawaka and Wade Preston.
Wade Preston. He was one of the guys. I'm honest. I could lie and say, "Oh, he was on the watch list. No one sees it but me and Joe." He was not. I didn't have him on the watch list.
Yeah, they both have 14. Preston has 14 losses, and Kensinger has 10. So both are obviously. I mean, both schools wrestle pretty good schedules. It's you come to wrestle at the right time. I mean, you always see the guys with 14 losses there, and they've wrestled good schedules. And its records can be deceiving.
It's not the Danny Abu 20 loss in there, but listen, it's those stories always come out. There's always someone who finds a way to turn it on right at the end and go to the big show.
Yeah. Going down the bracket, Mason Winter had a real good semi-state, won his second semi-state title. He has Preston. Obviously, he's going to be a heavy favorite there. Tucker Kaufman, Union County, having a good season. We did an article on him a few weeks ago. Him and Winter should be a pretty good match. Going down, Nick South versus Ethan Hicks. That's the third time they'll be wrestling. Hopefully, the third time's a charm. Oscar Cash and Mosconi. If that could be a pretty good. That's going to be a pretty good match. They probably wrestled, didn't they?
No, I think Mosconi was up at 70 when they wrestled at Trikoff.
Okay, well then never mind then. I was gonna look at my spreadsheet, but could have a Nick South Oscar Cash match. That should be a pretty good one.
Go Cash.
Go Cash. Jack Idle George, Malik Hoover, Tucker Shank, and Chandler Wanker, two guys, smaller schools that aren't usually wrestling powerhouses. Good for those guys. One of those guys can be on the podium. Wanker's been looked pretty good the past couple of weeks I've seen. He's pretty tough. Then just an ugly number 3, 12, 1, and 6 in that quarter bracket. Lemley, Brooks Davis, Hunter Reed, and Gleason Mappis. Ooh. 242-1 guys wrestling first round. Somebody's eating shaved ice the rest of the day on Friday night and Saturday.
With the tears.
Yes, the tears flavor. That's going to be a heck of a match. And I was talking with someone. I mean, you look at someone like Gleason Mappis. If he's going to make it to the finals, he's going to have to go through Hunter Reed, Diego Lemley, probably Idle George, and then he's going to go through 6, 3, 2, and then obviously 10, 5, 4. One of those guys. That's just going to be ugly.
Yeah.
Did Idle George qualify last year?
No, he did not.
Okay. Has he ever qualified? Is this his first time qualifying?
First time. Yes.
That's what I thought. Because that's a name that's been around for a long time, and it's nice to see him finally get up there. And if I had to put money on it, he's making it probably to the semis at least. So it's just good to see a name that I've heard in the wrestling community for so long. Finally get his shot out there. So good for him.
No, that should be. And he's wrestled Lemley and Mappis close matches this year. So, and he's not out of the talk to make the finals on that side. Obviously,
Idle George.
Yeah, I believe he lost to
Mappis twice.
Mappis twice. Okay, so what do you think here, Mike?
Yeah, that it's just off the bat. You see that 42-1, 42-1. You're talking, 84-2 combined record for a Friday night, which is it's cool when Kevin Whitehead says it on the microphone. It's gonna be really cool. A couple once beaten seniors going at it. Gleason Mappis, what a tough draw. Hunter Reed, what a tough draw. And then Diego, his 4 losses. tour to Mappus. One is to AJ Washington at the DAC, and one to Oscar Cash, which he avenged. So you would assume, looking at it, Mappus would be the favorite, but it's tough to beat guys multiple times like that, especially guys that are well coached, like Diego Lemley has a lot of good coaches over there. Tucker Shank, returning state qualifier, 43-2. I barely remember from last year, so I know he was in the rankings all year. He's obviously done pretty well. Carmel, Maryville, two well-coached teams. David Maldonado gets those guys up, man. I wouldn't sleep on that match. There's always a Maryville guy that'll surprise you, and they only got two, and I'm not going to be surprised if Shrek makes it to the finals.
Yeah, definitely. Great matches. Any thoughts here, Nick?
I kind of already did it. I'd like to see my old caveman getting out there. Ben Kensinger, I remember when you were like 3, it feels like. So it's good to see you're going to be there on the big show.
Was Ben Kinsinger taking shoulders home when he was 3 also, because he was legging kids like it was a job?
No, I believe he learned the shoulder removal much later in life.
Yeah, he's taking shoulders home. So if you see a guy down there with like 6 shoulders hanging from his neck.
That might also be Nathan Walton, though.
Yeah. He was impressive. He was definitely impressive.
Moving up, 170. Noah Warren sits at top, undefeated, having a great, well, not undefeated, 42-1, has 1 loss. Bumped up to wrestle number 1 at 82. He's sitting up top. Brigham Kleinhens, obviously, anyone of wrestling knowledge knows that last name. There's about 86 of them at Columbus North. Hopefully they'll run out within the next 20 years.
They all have awesome names like Brigham and Warren.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I wonder what kind of family they are. Like, they get such cool names.
They're Norse, I believe.
Norse.
Nice.
The next one's Thor.
Yeah. Going down, Drake Guerrero, Portage, Jake Lone, Northwood. That's a match that, obviously you're seeing a Portage guy with 11 losses. That's a very winnable match for him. That obviously, you're only getting 1 or 2 points for that, maybe 3. I can't remember if advancement count. Let's not get on that subject.
I think advancement counts, but no bonus points. But yes, every match, every point here, every Portage match, I'll be holding my breath, hoping that Vega does something to get thrown out, but he probably won't because he's really smart and scary. But no, every time they get a win, it's gonna make me have to go to the little boys' room because it's not good for us.
Yeah,
Cathedral probably. I'm sure Coach McGinley's gonna be thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, even if he loses that, that next match, you're still getting 3 points at least. Probably not bonus because extra points don't count in the state finals first quarter, right?
Oh, I believe it's 4 points, Joe. Come on.
That's 1 point for only get 1
point.
Oh,
no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you don't get an extra. Yep,
right.
I'm done. Never mind. It's 3. Math. Continue.
Yeah. So I mean, even getting a couple of those guys like Guerrero through to Saturday, huge. I mean, that could be 3 points. If the state final, if the team championship comes on 3 points, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, definitely.
And it could be really ugly if you count the bonus points on Friday night, but that's not.
Who cares about those? Those are dumb.
Okay. Anyway, Carson Brewer, I know FC fighter, projects him as the champion. Elijah Mahan, that should be a great match.
I think it is going to be a great match.
Mahan's tough. He's been around. I've seen him wrestle. I've coached against him a few times. He's a man child, and I think he's like was in their school musical or something too. Very talented.
Someone asked me, I said that, styles make matchups. He's really good on his feet also, and I know Carson's really good on his feet. That could be fireworks Friday night.
Yeah. Then you got Dalton Moore, Manchester punching a ticket. They don't get many guys to stay. Cody Crary, who's been out with the last for a while. They had a pretty good semi-state. Looked like he gave Fator everything he wanted. Probably didn't want, actually. That should be a good Friday night match. Moore had a real good tournament Saturday. Zach Fator undefeated. Brady Wyro.
One fun fact: he's the last person in Indiana to take down Brayton Lee.
Wyro, yep. Yes,
blast double, if I recall, right off the whistle.
Cody Klettheimer, Cameron Fuller, heading up from Greco City. That should be a good match. Klettheimer has been to state before. He's pretty solid. Jordan Rader, Mario Traficani. Rader has the best mustache in the state. I'm going to say hands down.
That's a grown man, bro.
Yeah. He has a mustache. I mean, he has some nice lip fur. I mean,
I'm
jealous.
better than Cosgrove's.
Oh,
Cosgrove's is pretty good.
Cosgrove's hasn't even hit puberty yet.
Cosgrove's put him on a list.
Yeah. Cosgrove looks like if cops are pulling over, they're like, sorry, officer, we're going to let you get out of here.
Raiders mustache has a birthday. Yeah. That's how good it is.
Raider looks like he got 2 kids he got to go pick up right now.
We're going to get some crap from Peru already.
Not happy.
And then Andy Davison, the 16 loss Columbus East kid, he wrestled his butt off from everything I've heard.
He turned it on at Semi State. It was fun to watch that kid. As much as I didn't want to see him win for obvious reasons, it was fun to watch him wrestle. That kid really brought it that day, and just he was ready to go. It didn't matter who was in front of him that day.
Yeah. Brad Lowe, Greenfield Central. Lowe was a placer last year, right? Qualifier. Okay.
That's a name that's been around a little bit too, I think.
Yeah, so that should be a good match. Pretty good, pretty wide open weight class. You got Fator and Warren and Brewer probably a little bit ahead of the class, but there's some guys that can pick you off if you don't if you take someone lightly. What's your thoughts here, Mike?
Yeah, Noah Warren's looked amazing the whole year. He his only blemish is when he went up. Both the 2 unranked guys in here were ranked in the preseason magazine, so if that counts for anything. Jake Lone, I thought he looked really good at Al Smith. I'm happy to see him punch a ticket, young kid. We talked about Brewer and Mahan. Cody Crary looked really good. Cody Crary, I thought, had a really tight one in the ticket round with Evan Bates of Chesterton. I thought Evan Bates was gonna pull that one out, but stuck Guerrero in the semis real quick, and then in the finals looked probably the best I've ever seen him wrestle. So he's wrestling real loose, which is I know that sounds weird, but he looks like he's just flowing really well. And I think when you get on a run, sometimes he's got, we looked at it last year with Elijah Stock. He got on that hot run. Like Cody Crary looked like a kid that can get on a run like that. Riding tough on top, good scrambles, good takedowns. So Fator is obviously an animal. He's smarter than I am. He could probably come on this and out debate me, even though I feel like I know more than him in the wrestling community. Like person wise, he's just really smart.
Joke there.
Huh?
Nothing. I'll tell you what, Mario. Now I'm gonna screw his name up, so you got to tell me how to say it, Mike.
Traficani.
Yeah, that kid has the best name, the best state. I hope he makes it to the state finals, so I get to hear him when they announce it, because it would be amazing.
Yeah. That kid's a grinder. I like Mario. I told you, he came up to me and told me I was underranking him. He's in the top 16. He was 19. Really good kid. Hawkins was kind of busting his chops a little bit after the ticket round, and he's just a really nice kid, which is good. And Brad Lowe, man, Brad Lowe's been on a tear. I want to say his 4 losses or 2 Warren.
I'll bring that up real quick.
Yeah, do your thing, Joe. Brewer.
Give us some insight. You guys do Brewer all the time.
Whoa, easy there. Brewer.
Hey. Brad Lowe, 3 losses to Warren and 1 to Eric Vermillion, which I believe is out of state.
Okay.
Pretty positive it's out of state. Go ahead.
Carson Brewer looked out of this world on Saturday. Hopefully he can keep that going. If he keeps that going, wrestles like that, I would not be surprised to see him beat a Noah Warren. I would not be surprised to see him win that whole weight class. Now, can a kid keep wrestling at that level for 2-3 weeks? I mean, that's hard. That's a hard thing to do. But from what I saw at Evansville, the kid was a monster. And that being said, I mean, you throw in a Zach Fator, who I watched wrestle Cicero last year, and that wasn't Fator, was it? That was Fator.
Yeah.
Yes, that was Fator. And that was terrifying. He was a huge man. And then you throw in a kid like Warren, who's a huge man as well, and also just explosive. I think any of those 3 are clear favorites here, but from what I've seen, Brewer looked real good on Saturday.
Yeah. Should be a great weight class. Obviously, you have a couple guys that have been there. Brewer has not made it. This is his first time to state injury.
He lost in the ticket round last year, right?
Shank, your boy Tucker Shank, I believe, from Southridge.
Oh, shanked. He got shanked. Should be a great weight class. Lots of great matches. Can't overlook any of the other guys. I think obviously this is the weight class where Eli Stock just made a run out of nowhere. Not really out of nowhere. It's Monrovia. They don't have any stoplights though.
No.
I think they mentioned something about not having any stoplights.
They have cool singlets though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's a dog.
Yeah. Should be a great weight class. We'll move up 195. Mike got 12 right here. 12 ranked guys, unranked guys. Dan Wickersham from Northridge. Michael
I did not have him on the watch list.
Yeah, Wickersham went through 2 ranked guys to make it. I mean, or actually 1. He had just wrestled a couple good matches. That's what it takes to get to state. Michael Bowman from Franklin County. Shane Stitz from Center Grove. And then Victor Lee from Marion. You didn't do
those guys. I'm going to say Victor Lee was on the watch list too. So those 3 were.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we can't fit everybody we want on the rankings. So it's a pick 'em there. Going down brackets.
Real quick, man. Shout out to my man Victor getting it done. He told us beginning of the year, man.
Yeah. He was on the board hot and heavy right before the season too.
Yeah, it was. He wasn't lying.
No, he looked good Saturday. He's tough. Very athletic, very, stays in good position. And, he wrestled actually my boss's son on the first round, and it was on his back early, then flipped him over. And I mean, it was pretty impressive. I mean, obviously he's, it's a big thing for him to get to state. So it could be, hopefully it's not like, eyes wide open and just in shell shock there. I'm going out there focused and ready to wrestle. Long wait from the Parade of Champions to when he wrestles. So that's one of those things that, I look at as a coach. I'm looking and seeing, who's just going to be, in all of what they're doing. And, those upper weights have to wait for so long to wrestle. And, that's a lot of adrenaline. That's lots of nerves just building up, and, you never know what's going to happen. So going down the bracket, Grant Goforth had a great tournament at Evansville. You got Sam Hansen and Rockney Hurley. Another good name.
Yeah. I didn't like on the bracket show they put all their actual names.
Their government names.
Yeah, I said that in the group chat. His government name. What's his name? His name's like Jack Rockney Hurley.
Excuse me, Colin Drew Kreitzer?
Yeah.
Yes, you're like Colin Kreitzer.
You gotta roll with Rockney. Like if you're gonna get that, go with Rockney.
Yeah.
That's a dope name.
Jackson Savio. He's a big human. He looks like Ivan Drago. If you haven't seen him, he looks like Ivan Drago. So he's pretty big human. He had a great tournament. He's his only one loss is up to Kyle Cornwall, I believe.
Yep.
Is he the modern day shoot? Is he walking up with tree trunks up?
Yes.
Stadium.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He lifts weights.
I'm gonna challenge him.
Okay. Good luck.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, that's Rocky number 4 and Vision Quest. Go find those on Fire Stick.
Yeah. I also don't watch Vision Quest because it's really not that good of a movie.
Come on, man.
Watch
Nick,
Win Win. It's better.
I'm muting you. You're getting in timeout.
Watch Win Win. It's better.
Trevor Bynum. I believe Savio. Did Savio wrestle Bynum? Okay.
At North Montgomery.
Yep. And Bryson Ford. Bryson Ford's pretty good, big human also. Should be a great quarter bracket there.
If that dude lifts weight, if that guy doesn't lift weights, I got to find out what he's doing because that dude's thick.
Then obviously the head of the class, Lucas Davison, Northwestern commit. He's having a great year, just mauling people.
Yeah.
He's getting on and off the mat like he has a date or something. I watched some of the East Chicago finals, and I turned away, and kid's on his back, and he's already done with his finals match. Mike has to fill 6 minutes worth of talking about random rankings and everything.
Pretty good broadcasters, though, right?
Yes,
I got one thing I need to ask. Could you not talk about dating, please? Thank you.
And then Greco City coming back at you. Luke Smith, Jeffersonville, and Draven Rassler from West Noble. That should be Rassler was a placer last year. I believe both would rather throw you than know you. So that might be match to watch. I mean, there might be some Greco.
Pin, bro.
Don't head
big
to
or go
George
home.
early. Circle that one. I like to see people get thrown. Go back to the finals. Watch Manzona Bryan, Jeremiah Brooks. Like, what was that? What did I put to like 48-minute mark?
Yeah.
One of the best throws in the tournament.
Yeah.
Manzona, because Manzona, that dude at Disney, that kid was like, I can shoot a double leg, but I'm gonna try to just inside trip to a lat drop because I can.
No, this dude went straight over the top. And Jeremiah Brooks, that dude's like one of the most. That dude, if I know we're not talking about 32, we'll talk about that one with Ed. But watch that guy Friday night because he's gonna do something that you're gonna be shocked. He's gonna do something you're gonna be like, this dude's crazy. And he wears a hair slicker. That's like American flag.
Yeah.
Awesome. That last quarter bracket, it seems like every weight has just a quarter bracket that's just brutal. Panola, AJ Fowler, or Arthur, whatever you want to call him, Victor Lee, and Jaden Sonner.
Can we call him Art?
Art.
His dad's Artie. That's party. His dad's Party Artie, man.
The strongest man in the world, like from Pete and Pete.
His dad DJ F5 or F7. They 7 kids.
I'm swinging out on that. I'm showing my age on the Pete and Pete ref.
So I believe Panola and Sonner wrestled late in the season, kind of an exhibition match.
Oh, that's what they're saying, right?
Yeah, and they said Sonner, I believe, won, but obviously it's not on our records or anything. So that should be an interesting match. Obviously, I don't know if they would have wrestled if they had known they'd be sitting wrestling Saturday morning, but it should be a great one there. What are your thoughts here, Mike?
I'm happy. I think AJ Fowler's gonna be able to go. I know he was injured at semi-state, but that's one of his only losses was Panola at the Al Smith, and I don't think it was very close. So that's a tough one. Jaden Sonner's first loss to go fourth. A lot of tough guys, a lot of good names though. Jackson Savio. Trevor Bynum was a runner-up at the freshman-sophomore state to AJ Fowler. I think I posted that this week, which was pretty cool. Sam Hanson's had a nice year. Shane Stitz. I thought he had a really good run at the Al Smith. I thought he looked pretty good. I know he lost. He was fourth, 12 losses, so he had some weird losses here and there, but I thought he was really tough. Davison's the man, though. Like it's gonna take a Herculean effort to beat him. I know that's what they like to say about Carson Brewer, but I really feel that about Davison. He's looks ridiculous, and he's gonna wrestle in college at another Big Ten school in the same weight as his brother, which I think is pretty cool too.
Yeah, that should be a good weight class. Nick, any comments? Are you gonna have a bench press contest with like any of these guys?
First off, they couldn't handle it. Let's be honest. And second of all, I'm gonna put all my hope and dreams into Victor Lee to pull off the upset.
Wow.
Over which one? All of them?
All of them.
Then I'm going for him. Let's do it. Unless AJ Fowler pulls out that Friday night win, then I'm gonna go with my hometown school. But other than that, I'm going with Victor Lee.
The A train. Okay.
So moving up 220 pounds.
Basically, anyone can win this state. Anyone can win this. It's wide open.
Mason Paris is kind of good.
Yeah.
He's kind of real good. The story this way, you gotta give it to Gavin Hare. Number 20, slipped him in the rankings late. He's has 7 losses. He had a tournament like no other. And I'm gonna have to pull up how he pinned his guy in the finals. It was crazy.
He put him on his back.
Yes, but in a very unique way, kind of Nick Region style.
Oh, so it was awesome and amazing and super fast.
How many pins do you have in your career? Like 4?
I actually had a lot of pins. I have a pretty good headlock, Joe. Don't.
Okay. So yeah, Greco City. Anyway, Ryan Hammond, Whiteland, he was a placer like 6 years ago, I think.
State qualifier.
It's been so long, I can't remember, but he was the one. He qualified like as a freshman, I think, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then some injuries, and now he's back undefeated. Good to see him.
He lost to Nick's guy in the ticket round last year, right, Nick?
Did he wrestle McCormick?
Yep.
He must have, yep.
Then you have Battle of Unranked Guys, Chandler Shum and Nate LaFree. That should be a good match. Shum looked pretty good. First I really seen him this past weekend, and he's had some good wins this year, so had a real good tournament. Then there's Mason Paris. He's good. And then he gets the winner of Levi Leffers and Joey Kidwell. Leffers looks pretty solid. I mean, he was right in that match. I'm going to pull that up in a minute. It was pretty impressive.
2 more wins, you two. That's a 5th place medal.
Yeah. Brandon Streck having a great season. Only 1 losses to
Lucas
Davison. Jacob Bolt, another Columbus East guy. Kyle Cornwell. Cornwell's tough. I think that Cornwell Streck match Saturday morning is going to be pretty good. Cornwell, I remember last year, him and Larson, it was right before one of my guys wrestled. I was watching that match, and he gave Larson a tough match. And Larson's now no easy wrestle. No one easy to wrestle.
Friday night showdown of Ricky Clark and Jesse Lawson.
Yes, but that's the last match of the night. I mean, they're turning off the lights. The concessions are closed.
That was the show divided, I remember.
Yes. Then, obviously we have Gavin Hare, Jacob McLean, Michael Booch will be a great first-round match.
Yeah, that's going to be like a 3-2 overtime match. That's going to be like a 3-2 ultimate. Right? Hey, you laugh. It's going to be like 2-1 ultimate tiebreaker.
Okay, we'll write that down. What are your thoughts here on this bracket as I pull up this throw?
I think you should go back and look at the four-way semi-state pick'ems because I think I had Gavin Hare defeating undefeated
Dalen Hart.
I just think he has a motor, man. I think a lot of times, like when you don't quit and you can kind of keep going forward, you're never really out of matches, especially with the big guys. I think Gavin Hare's pretty good. Rudy Strex looked really good this year. Baumgartner got out, which is good for South Adams his senior year. I know he had some knee issues early on. Mason Paris is a freak. Joey Kidwell looked good. Mason Paris, that's going to be tough for anybody. Nate LaFree beat Caleb Talamus in the ticker round, reversed the loss. Semi-state runner-up. Streck kind of just ran it, though. I hadn't seen Ryan Hammond this much this year, but Landon Burton's really good, too. So, I mean, he came in with 1 loss. He lost 2 matches there, and his only loss before that was Boots at the Evansville Mater Dei Holiday Classic. So that could be a good Friday night. I mean, maybe Nick can give us a little bit more insight on how Ryan Hammonds from Whiteland looked.
He's very big and strong.
I think Landon Burton is also.
So
he moved pretty well.
Yeah, not terrible. I mean, I would say just because he's undefeated doesn't mean he's any kind of a lock to win any of those matches. I think he's not Mason Paris.
Yeah,
I guess would be the way I'd say that.
That's a 6 and 7 Friday night for a 4 and 1. I just think Newcastle was really deep at 220. I mean, you had 7, 1, 4, and 3 qualify.
Nice. Here, I got this match.
It only took you 40 minutes.
Nah, I was waiting for you guys to get done talking right here. This is pretty crazy.
It's good frame rate.
Yeah.
It looks like it's just a standing, like, sit-out head grab.
He just, like, swam through. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty interesting. I mean, you don't see heavy or 220s do that very often.
That Cameron Strum kid in the background, that kid is pretty big.
Yeah, that's Strum too. So Leffers is a pretty big guy too.
And Gavin, how tall do you think Gavin Hare is? Because he's not the tallest guy.
No, he is not. He is like 5'7", 5'8", maybe on a good day.
He's a ball, man. I like that guy. I hope he does well. Kyle Simpkins is tall too, so that should be interesting. Kyle Simpkins is like 6'3".
Just looking at the podium picture, the third place winner, Shrum is almost as tall as as Hare in there. And he's on the third step. So yeah, he's not the tallest guy. He has a motor. He will keep going. And he's fun to watch. So that should be an interesting weight. Obviously, Mason Paris should win it, and that would be good for him.
Who was the kid from Elkhart Central a couple years ago? Eliseo Guerrera. That's who Hare reminds me of. Kind of short, stocky, like a grinder.
Yeah. Moving up, our last weight. We're going to go, man, it seems like we're going short. We're not going like 6 hours like we did last week.
We're trying really hard.
Yeah, just as a side, Michael Boots is really good too for Mater Dei. That'd be a good one Friday night.
Yeah.
Well, he's from Mater Dei, so yes, agreed.
285 should be a great weight. Got number 2 versus number 3 first match at 285. Picorni versus all took his first 2 losses. Picorni beat Isaiah McWilliams. Good match. Obviously, 1 takedown difference. Sets him up. I mean, obviously, they couldn't meet in the finals, and it sets him up probably a little bit better. A battle of unranked guys: Marcus Stone, Harley Hillenberg believe Stone's been in the rankings a little bit.
Yeah, I know Hillenberg was on the watch list. I don't know if he ever made it in.
Yeah, Holden Parsons had a great tournament. Saw a lot of it. I thought he was pretty good last year, and he took some losses this year that kind of were kind of head scratchers. He's pretty big, and then Elijah Tipping from Wawasee.
He's pretty big too.
Yeah, he's pretty big. It's going to be hard to tip him over.
Yeah, he's really strong too.
Jalen Comer and Jamichael Watts, another unranked guy. You didn't do too well at heavyweight, Mike.
No, Jamichael Watts, I did know though. He was the freshman sophomore state champ.
Nice.
I don't even know if I don't think he was in the lineup the whole year.
Yeah, there's 10 guys. You missed 6 guys. You missed Hillenberg, Watts, Marcus Stone, Nick Connor from Elkhart Central, and Tyler Majors.
Some of these guys were in the rankings at one point, though. Nick Connor was. Gabe Watkins was on the watch list. Tyler Majors I didn't have on the watch list. I know he had some nice wins. Jamichael Watts I didn't add to the watch list, but I wish I would have because I knew he was really good. And Marcus Stone and Harley Hillenberg.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Heavyweights, it didn't seem like it's one of those weights that a lot of guys didn't really hit up a lot. They were all spread out pretty well. I mean, you didn't see them all. It was a weight class where it's hard to rank. I think from just a lot of common losses, a lot of common everyone beat everybody type of thing.
How about this? You have Garrett Curtis, who got 4th in the sectional, 4th in the regional, and then won his semi-state.
That's pretty good. He had a tournament.
Yeah, but Garrett Curtis, he started the year off like number 8. His dad really likes Indiana Matt. He's a big fan. He has the ability to, like, obviously he won the semi-state. He could be this year's Eli Stock. I mean, Eli Picorni and Isaiah are pretty good, but I mean he's a pretty big guy too, right, Nick?
Yeah, he's that's how he beat Riley. He's really big. And when he gets on top of you, he's quick. He's quick like a Ricky Clark with that weight. If he gets that weight on you, there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good. I mean, obviously you get 4th at sectional. That's always putting you up for a pretty big task, especially when you're running into the Avon sectional champion.
And then you get 4th at the regional too, means you're gonna have to wrestle 1 right away. Like,
yeah, he likes going the unconventional route.
Yeah, whatever you gotta do.
Let's see how he flips it this week. Now he's the one.
Yeah,
let's see if Tyler Majors comes at him now.
Yeah, then you could have potential quarterfinal match, him and Donnie Kreider doing Donnie Kreider things.
Just crying it up.
Donnie Kreider had an awesome match in the ticket round with Faulkner from Mishawaka, where they were just throwing each other all around on their back. He was doing Donnie Kreider things in that match.
Nice.
He got a little banged up, though. Hopefully he's all right, because I think he's a really nice kid. He's about 6'7".
Hopefully he's wearing his singlet with just shorts for the Parade Champions again.
Or for tradition, Nick. Why would he not?
I don't know. It's fantastic is what it is.
Yeah. The final quarter bracket, as with all of them, is just brutal. Jacob Opes, Indianapolis Cathedral, Riley McCubbins, Monrovia. Nick has this one earmarked. He's going to stay for the last matches because just so he can see if he has a panic attack.
I'll bring his Xanax.
That should be a great match. I do not believe they've wrestled, but then you got Nick Connor, Isaiah McWilliams. They have wrestled, I'm pretty certain, because I think they're in the same conference.
Yeah.
I'll put my list.
NIC, baby.
Yep.
Formerly the NAIC and NLC. Then they combined them. I won that 4 times. You know who only won it 3 times? Ian Hinton. Yeah.
No, he has not wrestled. They have not wrestled, believe it or not.
Well, they
he
are
lost
the same.
To Faulkner. He lost to
he must have
Michael
lost to Faulkner. That
Connery, someone like that. I think that's the other conference loss. Or no, there's I don't know. They did not meet up.
I would guess that's a Faulkner loss in the conference.
Yeah. So then McWilliams pretty tough. I mean, that's obviously a quarter bracket. Cathedral could be there. That's a big match, first round. Obviously, they all are, whether you're in the team race or not. But that should be an interesting team race match. Mike, what's your what do you see here?
Eli Picorni looks really, really good. That's gonna be interesting because Dakota Alt's huge, but Eli moves like a 170. He's still really quick. He's mean. Him and Bus was a good match. I think that it's one of those things. that's been my rant lately of like guys leaving early. And we look around, it's an empty gym, and you have number 1 and number 2 going at it. And it was a good match. And it's not like those guys are the stall it out guys. Those guys are going for it. They're taking big shots. Marcus Stone's a big athletic kid. Elijah Tipping looked good. Holden Parsons obviously won the semi-state over there. Jalen Comer's had a good run. He was a sectional and regional champ, wasn't he, Nick?
No,
he was lost to Riley, and then was a regional champ, correct?
No, he didn't wrestle Riley, and Mooresville's not in our sectional. Hold on, I have the regional up. I can tell you. No, Comer won his sectional.
Okay, so sectional and regional champ.
Yes.
Jermichael Watts, real athletic kid, moves really well. You can probably go back to track and watch him at freshman sophomore state. Garrett Curtis, huge. I haven't seen Tyler Majors enough. Donnie Kreider, obviously, he's one of my favorites. I'm gonna miss saying Donnie Kreider things. He has a brother named Will Kreider. Hopefully, Will Kreider can do some Will Kreider things, and we can keep that going on. McCubbin's the lineage, man. His dad was a monster. I was actually just talking to a guy that was like a 1991 like state runner-up, and he was like, "Yeah, Dave McCubbins was a beast." He said that guy, was one of the best guys he's ever seen.
91, huh? That's Mishawaka's first state title. No big deal. Mike Lehman. Just throwing knowledge out, man. Come on, I'm an encyclopedia.
Okay. So, but I think Bus and Picorni, I think that'd be a great way to close out the weekend.
I want to see the Bus and Donnie Kreider. Right, that just the contrast of styles. You have a 5'5" versus 7'5" guy.
How good of a kid is Isaiah McWilliams, though, man? That kid's awesome.
Yeah, great kid.
Always real polite. Always comes up, says hi.
Yeah. One thing I was texting with Carl Hungus a little bit ago. I think, and I'll say, go on a pretty strong limb. I think Eli Bicorni is probably one of the most underrated guys in the state. I wouldn't be shy to say that he's probably a top 5 guy overall, pound for pound in the state, but kind of overshadowed by guys like Davison, Brait, and Mason. He's killed it nationally, killed it, in the state. Obviously went from 170 to 220, was a 4th place finisher last year as a sophomore. Could easily be a 2-time state champ. So, but he's one of those guys that's kind of been under the radar, but is one of the best kids that we have in the state right now. So don't sleep on him. And obviously, we've had a pretty good heavyweight reign for the past few years as far as national ranked heavyweights.
He might be your Mr. Gorilla next year.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the mix for sure. Asa probably in the mix too. But you get to figure like someone's gonna get a really nice recruit there. Hopefully IU or Purdue's gonna grab him up, and we can kind of keep some of these talented guys in state. But he's gonna be a really nice college heavyweight.
Yeah. Nick, what's your thoughts here? Who are you gonna out bench press here? Donnie Kreider?
No way.
I just want to get fashion tips from Donnie Kreider.
You should see Donnie Kreider let you sit on his shoulders for the Purdue's champions.
He won't do that. If you come find me, Kreider, I'll do it. We'll take pictures. It'll be fun.
You'd hit your head on the ceiling of the
I can get the ball that we threw up there years ago. No, it's heavyweight. I kind of stopped paying attention to it when Riley lost because I was sad. I also got broken up with recently, which was also sad. Just throw it out there. Yeah, the one match I'm looking for there, Joe kind of hit it already, was Ops and McCubbins here, mostly for a team point reasons. But heavyweight's always a surprise, I think, at this tournament, and you shouldn't leave. Anyone who leaves for this weight class should try to remember back last year to Ricky Samuels and Ricky Clark. Or Robert Samuels, Ricky Clark?
Yeah, Robert Samuels.
Yeah. Robert
Ricky
Samuels
was Clark. Older brother, actually.
I knew there was a Ricky Samuels, though. So, yeah, imagine if people left for that match, how upset everyone would have been. Like, that's still probably one of the best matches in the history of Indiana wrestling.
You've seen McCubbins a lot. What do you think is, how dangerous he is as a wrestler?
I think he's good. I think it's going to be a really close match. I don't think it's a guaranteed win for either guy. He can definitely compete there. And as a semi-state champ coming out, that was the 1-4 you didn't want.
Yeah.
I think that was the 1-4 that you were like, if I draw that, that's not going to be fun for anyone.
Yeah, I think Dakota Alt's up there too. He's a large human being.
Yeah. So, and heavyweight's just kind of been a weird weight around. I mean, you don't have a lot of parity around the state. You kind of have, here's your section of good heavyweights, here's another section of good heavyweights. So they see each other a lot, and you have these guys with 2-3 losses, but they're beating each other. So
what happened with Dakota Alt this weekend, Joe?
I did not see it. Obviously, I was at the lunch for first take around match. I know he got beat by Parsons. Parsons is pretty solid. Probably just a little bit of a game plan there. I wasn't paying that much attention, unfortunately. I was focused on my guys, so I really don't know.
Dynamite drop in there, bud.
Yeah, way to go, Joe. Way to do your job.
I was coaching up my kids.
Yeah.
And eating lunch. I was hungry.
I didn't eat lunch. I did a 12-hour broadcast, no lunch.
Jeez.
Mike, Joe, I don't eat lunch. You know what I do? I bring fun coffee mugs and walk around and drink coffee out of them.
Nice.
The last one I had said, "You've got to be kidding me right now."
Nice.
He's available, ladies. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. He's still available.
Yes, he's still available. And he is, obviously, this is way better than the HSA show because we talk relationships. We talk real.
Listen, this can all be yours. Listen, I can play a little ditty. We can get all real with it. We can just be all like, "What up, everybody?" Like we can shorts. Oh, scoot it up. Yeah, I can be for you. I can write a song about you.
Be a little creepy, I guess.
Yeah. I think, how long do you have to usually wait into a relationship before you start writing songs? Is that in the month or the year?
Oh, that's like 2 weeks in. The ring comes at 4. So don't worry about it. And yeah, I am wearing shorts. It's my own house. What are you trying to do?
I see you flashing that ink, trying to get the lady, give him a little something.
Nice.
I really get up with my cleanliness in my rooms. That's what really draws them.
So anyway, he's single. If you guys need any ladies that are interested, just contact us.
Ladies of age.
I'm a really nice guy.
Yeah.
I have beautiful blue eyes, or so I'm told.
From your mother. But anyway.
Easy. Not disparage Anne's name. She is watching right now.
I know. Anyway, with that, we'll be back Thursday. We're going to have Ed Pendowski on here. We're going to talk some wrestling and some philosophy. Maybe Jeter will come on. We'll see if we can how many Jeter references we get on Thursday. Same time, about 8:37-ish p.m. So, Mike, any parting words?
No.
Any Valentine's shout-outs?
Oh, man, I always have a ton of shout-outs. We have a bunch. I think I'm doing a Region Sports show tomorrow, too, so I'm going to be all bracketed up. So I'm not going to give my real bracket like I did. You guys probably took those and got 29th place, and I took 25th at East Chicago. But I almost won Fort Wayne.
Well, you know what they say about Fort
Wayne. Nick, any words of wisdom? Any shout-outs?
Nah, man, I'm just excited, man. One more year, one more state finals. I'm excited to see it. I know Mr. Durham kind of showed me some things they're planning to do with the big screen, and I'm really hoping they get them done because it seemed really cool. Nice. Also, I'm single, so if you're at Banker's Life, come find me. I will have my cell phone. We can exchange numbers.
Hopefully you give him the right. She gives you the right number.
If you don't, it's okay. Just make sure it's a female.
So with that, we will let you guys go, and we'll talk to you Thursday.